One. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the GDFL podcast hosted by yours truly and the Commissioner Andrew Korn. This week, joining me on the show, I have Trevor. Welcome back to the show, Trevor.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. It's always a pleasure. So,
Yes, it is.
big week of GDFL action this past week. Starting at the top here, Stun beat me 140 to 127. Shrew beat Jake 100 to 69. Trevor, you beat Sokol 145 to 113. Levi beat
Yes, I
Ryan
did.
129 to 66. Beans beat Chaz 118 to 103. And then Mark beat Logan 122 to 91. So yeah, from this slate of matchups, what stood out to you?
Obviously, the one versus two matchup, one seed stun pulls out ahead. Could be a preview of things to come, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, both you guys have a bye this week, so just got time to reflect on the matchup. Obviously, myself versus Sokol was a big matchup. If Ryan won his matchup, then the winner of ours was going to the playoffs and the loser was out. But, fortunately, Ryan did lose. Beat him. So Sokol and I both make the playoffs and kind of just flip flop spots. I believe Sokol was in fifth before, and now we kind of just flip flop seeds there.
Yep. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, Ryan only putting up 66 in a must-win week is a pretty tough look. Just
Yeah, I mean, at that point, like your team's just not probably competing for much anyway. There's a tale of two cities. There's teams that die and limp into the playoffs and are going gonna die in the first round. I mean, there's plenty of scenarios I've seen in past in fantasy football where it's team starts out like 5-2, 6-2, then just struggles, limps to the finish line, barely makes it, and is out in the first round. Then there's the other story where team starts out 2-5, then catches fire, guys are hot, and then can end up winning the whole thing. And Ryan's the first one in this scenario.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping your matchup versus Sokol was going to end up having higher stakes than what it ended up being. I mean, playoff
Yeah.
seeding, it still affected the seeding for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have thrown the matchup if I had known. Now I face Chaz instead of Mark.
Other way around, you face Mark instead of Chaz.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah, yeah. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a believer if you throw a fantasy football matchup, bad karma's coming your way. So,
This is true. This is true.
yeah. I mean,
Hey, I won $10 out of it, so
eh, you,
that's always a an incentive.
oh, yeah, you sure did. Yeah. Yeah, at least for my matchup with Stun, that really didn't end up mattering. The only thing, because Stun was always going to be the one seed.
Yeah,
I just had to outscore Chaz this week, and Chaz lost anyway, so then my game really ended up mattering, not at all.
yeah,
But yeah, some taking a look at the bracket. So in the first round, like you mentioned, Stun's the one seed and has a bye. I'm the two seed with a bye. Chaz and Sokol is the 3-6 matchup, and then you versus Mark is the 4-5 matchup.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, was Sean the one who got way too cute in the playoffs yesterday and tried to make a spot start of someone instead of just doing the obvious choice and then lost because of it? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure there was which player was that? Do you remember off the
he
top of your
didn't
head?
start Cooper Rush and instead started a receiver, and the receiver he started scored 0, and Cooper Rush had like 17 in a matchup. He lost to
Ah, yeah,
Levi.
that's
He
right.
lost to Levi by 2, and just starting a quarterback over any of his receivers would have given him the win.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
I think
Mark would have been a league champion last year if Stun would have started Cooper Rush.
interesting. I think, I think Mark is definitely the favorite in my matchup. You never know. I mean, it really depends on the quarterback play for me. I think that's where I have the key edge, and he has edge at every other position. So if my quarterbacks, put up 25 plus, 30 plus, I got a chance. If they don't, I think it's an easy win for Mark.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So
you would have beat Mark last week. But yeah, Mark's team
yeah.
has kind of been rolling all season.
Eh,
Uh, sh- uh,
Unless
he scored the
one of
most points in league
my
history this year too.
unless one of my young guns just goes absolutely off that I'm not thinking about like I may take the risk and start Chuba Hubbard, even though he's projected like 3 points, but he got heavy split last week and he could end up being the lead back again. But sleepers projections have him insanely low right now. So
Hmm. Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I know like Mark's starting lineup, but I guess a big one for Mark is if Drake London plays or not. I mean, most
I
people
saw
have this
I
happening
saw he
too.
logged a DNP today and it's looking doubtful.
Yeah.
I have him in my other dynasty league where the playoffs start today. So I it's a win and lose for me in each scenario.
Hmm. Yeah, and then looking over at the Sokol Chaz matchup, I mean, I pulled this morning. Looks like it's projected to be a close game. As we know, projections don't necessarily mean shit, but
Yeah. The biggest thing for Sokol is he has two QBs and Young had a bye this week, so he could only start one. I think, he will do better this week. The one thing I do want to note is Lauren and Taylor may have down games depending on who starts at Indy. That could really tank his chances there, but Michael Wilson is now a fantasy god, so hopefully he rides him to a win.
yeah. So I mean, I am personally rooting for Chaz in this matchup, uh,
Yeah.
just because we do the reseeding. So I would not play Sokol if Sokol were to win. Sokol would play Stun. And then
Yeah.
I guess if it depends, I would be playing Mark then, assuming Mark beats you if
Yeah.
Sokol wins. So I personally want Chaz to win. I mean, I have playoff beef with both of them in several leagues over the past several years. Uh, I'd be fine to play against anyone. It's just like if I had my choice, though, I'd pick Chaz to win here, and then return the score from our finals matchup a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know CD Lamb left early with a concussion on Thursday. If he has any lingering effects from that, he had like the same thing where he had like the finger like crunch up a little bit the way Tua did a few years ago. So it might be
Yeah.
a severe. We'll see if CD Lamb can go for him. That'd be a pretty big loss. But yeah, I mean both of them have. I mean it's JT versus CMC. It's a big battle of
Yeah.
the fantasy running backs there.
Yep.
All right, since I don't think you're scheduled to make another appearance. Maybe you will if we somehow meet in the finals. But
We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, do you want to make any playoff predictions? Who do you think is going to make it to the finals and who's going to win?
If I had to pick a team right now, I think it's Mark's year.
Okay,
I think it's tough because if Sokol, like if Chaz wins, I think the winner of Stun Mark would win it all.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that's the tough one. Um, we'll see. If I had to call right now, it's Mark though.
yeah. I definitely don't disagree with you on that. Uh, I have a newsletter coming out on probably tomorrow. We'll see when it actually comes out, but I'll have my official predictions in there for people to read because we're reading in 2025. We're bringing that back. Don't need to do everything over video.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. That's my vibe this year.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating. So I mean, me, Stun, Chaz, and Mark were the top four seeds last year. And then you and Sokol earned the first and second overall picks. Like both of you had, I mean, you had the full season tank.
Yeah,
Sokol decided to tank mid-season last year. I feel like both of you are reaping the rewards of collecting all those draft picks. I mean, both of you guys had a little bit of different approaches to how you acquired players this year. I feel like
yeah,
you made most of your picks and then had a few budget moves like a J.K. Dobbins, whereas Sokol traded for JT and then traded for some more win now players like Diggs.
yeah. Never forget that Shrews traded the MVP of the NFL for Isaiah Pacheco.
Shots fired. Yeah,
So
it's crazy because like at the time it was like Stafford's probably playing this year, right?
yeah,
And then he just goes out and has his best season of his career. Just like that's
yeah.
funny how fantasy works sometimes because yeah, all the news around Stafford then was so bad.
It was. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the risk on this, and paid off.
Yeah, I mean you needed a second quarterback, and then
I
just
did,
he was
and
the
I
one.
didn't know who would be around at the turn, and Jackson Dart just looked like he's panning out, and then Tyler Shuck also looks like he's panning out. So good problem to have if in my situation.
Mhm. So look at the draft order. So Logan earned the first overall pick as expected. Shrew as the second pick. So Ryan, with his pitiful performance, actually earned himself the third overall pick
You
because
know what?
his
That's a pretty good tank job.
yeah, his max PF was pretty low.
Yeah.
And then Logan now falls to four with Levi's pick, which that was two almost all season. So I'm sure Logan has to be a little disappointed, but he's still the top four pick. So you can,
Yeah.
how disappointed can you really be? Then Jake will have five, and then Beans is at six. And then if, yeah, so Shrew is guaranteed to have one of seven or eight since he has both yours and Mark's first.
Okay.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah, I had the same thing happen to me in year one when Logan played Chaz in the first round where I was like guaranteed one of seven or eight.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, if Sokol wins, then Chaz, or then Shrew will have seven. If Chaz wins, then Shrew will have eight. So yeah, your matchup really doesn't. I guess yeah, Shrew doesn't really have much of a vested rooting interest in your matchup. His is more so in that Sokol Chaz matchup where yeah, Shrew will definitely be rooting for Sokol this week.
Yeah. Interesting.
Then yeah,
Interesting stuff.
yep.
Well, Shrew's maybe Shrew makes the playoffs next year. We'll see.
You're sounding like the Cowboys here. And next year's our year.
We'll see.
Maybe that's
Logan, if I'm Logan, I'm trading those top four picks for more picks down the line. Maybe trading. I don't know. Is Mendoza eligible this year? Does he declare? That
I
could
think
be.
I think he'll definitely go pro. He's probably like if I'm assuming he'll be the first quarterback taken.
Yeah. There's the guy from Oregon too, right? He's pretty
Yeah.
high on the list.
Dante Moore is pretty
Yeah.
highly touted. Ty Simpson from Alabama is also fairly highly touted. And
Yeah.
then, like, I think right now, Jeremiah Love is probably the 101, the Notre Dame running back.
Yeah. Jeremiah Love is a interesting one. Definitely a very good prospect. I guess that might be a segment, so I don't want to spend too much time in this, either this week or future weeks. So
Yeah. Well, we did do, me and Levi did our way too early 2026 mock, and we talked about how we should trade, or how Logan should be making these trades. He doesn't listen to the show, so who gives a fuck if he listens or not.
yeah,
But
true. True,
yeah,
true, true.
Logan should trade either Purdy or Love and collect as many like running backs as receivers as he can, and then trade for one of them or trade one of these picks for more picks, like you said. A lot of things Logan could do here to I mean he just needs healthy bodies and warm bodies in a starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean there's multiple teams that are gonna draft a QB next year. I can already think of a few NFL teams that are QB needy.
Yeah. That's
Jets, Raiders, a few others.
yeah, that's one segment I want to do. It's not happening this week. It's one I considered though was doing a QB carousel where we evaluate which teams might have openings and how they might fill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna be this week. That might be a next week show though. So some spoilers. So quick news and injury roundup. Philip Rivers might start this week.
I
Hasn't played
saw
a
that.
football game since 2020, but Daniel Jones ruptured his Achilles, and then Riley Leonard might has knee soreness and might be out this week. And so Philip Rivers at 44 years old off the couch might be starting.
Yeah, I mean, I still have some fab to burn, but honestly, for a roster spot, I already got two other QBs. I don't think it's worth it for me to even consider it at this point.
Yeah,
But someone might.
I think someone's gonna bid on him. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
if I were Sokol, I'd bid tons of money on him. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah, I think Sokol has all of his fab still, so. Yeah, I feel like that's a good one for yeah. Any like playoff team that needs a quarterback. If I'm not a playoff team, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
Uh, just because I highly doubt this turns into anything more than maybe five starts in his career. But
yeah.
if he even starts any, we'll see. Um, yeah, I can't believe that I'm saying that Philip Rivers is starting. I thought he retired 5 years ago, and I mean he was bad his last year. I mean I was looking at his stats again. His passer rating was actually respectable. Like it was a pretty average NFL quarterback season. But I
Yeah,
mean, I
who
don't
else
know.
are we gonna see? They gonna drag Drew Brees out of retirement next year? Like what's going on?
Drew Brees had no arm his last season. Like he could barely throw it 20 yards that last year.
Yeah,
Don't
it
know
was
if
a
that
brutal
thing's
watch.
happening. Some other news: Zach Ertz tore his ACL. That's probably
His
a
leg
career
looked
ender
like
for him.
jello in that collision. That was bad.
Yeah, pour one out for Zach Ertz. Great fantasy tight end over the years.
That's probably his career.
That yeah,
He was contemplating retirement anyway, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
But
That's
at
a
that point,
second.
just hang it up.
I think that's his second time tearing the ACL too.
Yeah.
Shador Sanders to start rest of the season. He actually had a really good fantasy game this past week. I think he was QB1 on the week, or maybe QB2 on the week. He put up
Yeah,
30 fantasy points.
that's an interesting one for a QB carousel. I think they probably try and trade Gabriel in the offseason for scraps, keep Sanders, and then pair a veteran with that. I think that's the way
Deshaun
they're going
Watson,
to do it.
baby. They
Oh yeah,
can't
that's
they
right. They
they
have
can't get
Deshaun.
rid of him. Like his contract, they've restructured it so many times. They actually cannot afford to get rid of Deshaun Watson. I think it's
That's
like a
Browns
90 million
management.
dollar dead cap hit to cut him. It's like something actually insane.
That is ridiculous. Yeah, that's the Browns for you.
Yep. Yeah. A few other injuries that affect playoff teams. Drake London's day to day. But as we mentioned earlier, he's had recorded two DMPs. We're recording this Tuesday night at 7:50 p.m. So we'll see if he plays this week. I'm guessing no, though. Achan had
Yeah.
a rib injury this past game. Uh,
Sounds like he's fine though from
yeah,
reports.
I
Sounds
think
like
it's
it was just precautionary.
yeah, because they were against the Jets. I think they were just like, we don't need you to win, and if we really do need you, we'll put you back out there.
Yeah.
But I'm okay if he rests up for a week. That's a okay with me.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is injured. That's Chaz's emergency quarterback. Might be Kenny Pickett, might be Aiden O'Connell. I think Pickett's been the backup most of the year, though, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
Pickett looked good in the 7, 8 minutes he started.
Okay.
Mm.
Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan could return for Thursday night this week.
Ooh,
Would be
that's an interesting one. McMillan's been on IR the entire year, and
pretty much Evans has been too.
yeah, that'll be interesting. Igbuka's struggled recently.
Yeah, the whole Bucks offense has been bad. Like Baker's not been very good the past like 6 weeks or so now. Like if you look
Baker
at his
was on every fantasy radar expert for regression this year because he had an unsustainable TD percentage last year. So doesn't really surprise me. I still think he's a decent NFL quarterback, but the struggles really don't surprise me too much.
same, yeah, like he had, yeah, like you said, he had a crazy touchdown season last year, and like he had some on the ground with his legs, but not enough to make up for the TD regression.
Yeah,
There's no buys this week. I put this together 10 minutes before we started and forgot to remove that.
it's all good.
So brings us to the special. Oh my God, I'm
Ooh,
stuttering.
let's
Some
see how good
special
my
segment is
trivia is.
rookie draft trivia. So
All
Mark and
right.
I have done the last few iterations of this. So this is 11 questions all around the rookie draft. So we'll see if you how much you remember about what's happened in past drafts.
Ooh,
They're
let's
all
see.
going to be multiple choice.
Okay.
A lot of them are numbers based because I again just put everything in an Excel sheet and then did a bunch of formulas.
Okay. Okay.
So, who has made the most draft picks? Is it A, Levi, B, Trevor, C, Ryan, or D, Shrew?
Ooh, I want to say Levi.
You want to say Levi?
Yeah, I'm going Levi.
Yeah, it's not even really that close either.
Yeah.
Levi has made 30, Trevor has made 18, Ryan's made 14, and then Shrew has also made 14.
Yeah, it's a runaway.
Yep. Yeah, that one was a bit of a gimme. I think we've seen the amount of trades Levi has made for picks over the last few years. All right. Who has made the fewest draft picks? So we have A, Chaz, B, Corn, C, Sokol, or D, Logan.
People are gonna want to say Logan, but your philosophy is always trade away picks for future years, so I'm gonna go with you.
Okay. It is Logan.
Oh, it is close.
It's
Okay.
close though. So Chaz has made 8. Sokol and I have both made 5, and then Logan's only made 4. Yeah, it's I wasn't really yeah, when I started this, I wasn't really sure what the correct answer was going to be here.
That's close though.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, wonder why Logan's team's not so hot. He's made 4 draft picks in this league.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
All right. How many first round picks has Levi made? So we have A10, B12, C14, or D16.
We've had 3 rookie drafts at this point,
Yeah,
correct?
we've had 3 rookie drafts.
Oof. I'm gonna go B12.
B12. It is 12.
All right.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up to be exactly correct, but I think he's made four in each of them. It might also be three, four, five.
Yeah.
I would have
He's
to
had a
double
lot.
check that. He's made a lot. I mean, that's just what his thing has been trade for players, trade those players into first round picks, make those first round picks, sell them when you don't want them anymore, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It's been the Levi way. Yeah, so Levi's made 12 first round picks, which is almost as many picks as me, Sokol, and Logan combined. Okay, so 36 first round picks have been made. How many teams have made a first round pick at least three times? So this is just picking one every year. So we have A2, B3, C4, or D5.
Levi for sure. I want to say Ryan has. And then Jake Leslie never changed his pick. So I'm gonna actually go out on a limb and say four.
Okay, so who do you think the four are?
Ryan, Levi, Leslie, and then I'm going to say myself.
Okay. So the correct answer is actually five.
Okay.
You actually only
Oh,
got three of them. So you got
okay.
Levi, Ryan has made five, Shrew has made four, you have made four, and then Stone has made three.
Okay.
So yeah, more than half the league has made less than the average amount of first round picks, and Stone's only made the average number.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, draft picks go flying in this league. Should be the moral of the story. Listening in. Okay, which two teams have never made a first round pick? So we have A Corn, B Chaz, C Logan, D Jake, E Mark, and then F Sokol.
I gotta say you and Logan would be my guess.
Me and Logan.
Yeah.
So the correct answer is Chaz and Logan.
Oh, Chaz and Logan. Okay. Who
Yeah,
was your first round pick?
I took JSN in the first draft and then traded him like 6 weeks into the season for Brees Hall.
Bet you regret that one.
Yep, I traded away JSN in the first for Brees Hall. Was like the ended up being the full trade, which at the time Brees Hall was RB3 that year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's not like it was and JSN averaged like 6 points a game, and I lost that championship by six. I mean, JSN was not going to win me that title.
Yeah.
Definitely regret that one though. I was talking to Levi about it, and it's just like, yeah, I'm mostly happy with the trades I've made. That's one where like I feel like it's mostly been fine. Like even like last year, Brees Hall still outscored JSN,
Yeah.
but kind of wish I had JSN on my team right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with Chaz, so Chaz the first year, I traded him Dalvin Cook for a first, and then the following before the 2024 draft, we had our trade of McBride and Baker for Nico Collins and his 112. So that's why how I traded away his 24 first. And then last year he traded his first for Tyreek Hill right before the playoffs. So
Interesting.
yeah, Chaz
Interesting.
two out of 3 years made a big deadline move, and then the other year, I mean I just traded with him. It was like May, made that or maybe it could have been June, but like made an offseason trade to get his 112. And then yeah, Logan traded for Amari Cooper the year he won his championship, and then traded two first for Josh Jacobs, and then just hasn't made any first round picks since.
Yikes.
Yeah, I want to say so. Jake has made two, I think. I don't know. Maybe Jake's only made. I think the only one he's actually made is Marv
Hmm.
because he traded his first for Hurts the first year of the league, and then he traded a 25 first for Christian Watson because Jake didn't make a first this past draft. So yeah, I think
Ooh.
Jake's only made one. Mark, I'm not sure if it's one or two for Mark. He took Gibbs, and then I'm not sure. I think Gibbs might be the only one though. I'd have to double check. And then Sokol made two firsts in this past draft. That was his first two times making a first round pick.
Interesting.
All right. Which team has never made a second round pick? And it's the same six names being listed.
Ooh, it's a tough one. We're gonna go. Let's try you this time.
Okay. The correct answer is Sokol's never made a second.
Wow.
So,
So he has the exact opposite strategy of Levi. Trade away every single pick.
hmm yeah. So this only second round pick that I've made was Achan.
It's a good
And
second round pick.
yeah, Chad, I know Chaz took Jaden Reed and he had like three this past year. Logan took Rashi Rice as a late second. Jake took Scatabo. Mark had Penix in the second. I think he's made a few other ones. But yeah, Sokol has always traded away second round picks. He's never made any.
Hmm.
Okay, which two teams have never made a third round pick? So we have same six
Wow.
names listed again. There's me, there's
Interesting.
Chaz, Logan, Jake, Mark, and Sokol.
Let's go. Let's go Sokol and Corn. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay. It's me and
Oh,
Logan.
okay.
So I know I get accused of trading for third round picks all the time, and yet I've never made one.
I have an abundance of third round picks. I think I probably have the most out of anyone of third round picks made.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark is always accusing me of trading my backup quarterbacks for third round picks. And yet I've never made one of those picks. So am I really making that many trades for thirds? Let's not look into that, but yeah, that's me and Logan. I thought me was a bit of a surprising one, just given how Mark thinks I trade for thirds all the time. But like you said, you just trade for future. You say I trade for future picks all the time. Just true. I've done that a lot. And then yeah, Logan's not made any. I mean, Logan's just like I would have to look deep into his history of trading, but I feel like he just like made a bunch of win now moves the first 2 years and then like really depleted himself.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's a bit wordy. So which three teams have never made a draft pick that was their own original selection and the pick was never traded? So like if let's say I had the 106 and then I traded to you and then I traded back for the 106. Uh, Even though that was my own original selection, that pick was traded, so that doesn't count. So these are
Hmm.
three teams that have never made a draft pick with their own selection, and the pick was never traded.
Ah, Levi, or I'm gonna say Levi, Ryan, and Beans, just because you put Beans in here.
Okay. So
Oh.
Stun has never made a draft pick from his original draft slot, neither has Levi or Ryan.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I
every
got
time
two out of three.
what?
I got two out of the
Two
three.
out of three is good. Yeah, I know Stun year one traded or he traded out the second overall pick each of the first 2 years when he had it, and then must have. I mean, he's made enough. I think Stun and Levi have made some of the most offseason trades, and because Stun's had those early draft picks, him and Levi have been swapping them around. So Stun has never made a draft pick from his own original selection. Logan has two. I know one of them was that Rashi Rice pick I had mentioned earlier, and then I think he might have had like the 412 or something one year. Uh,
Yeah.
the only time I've ever made my own original selection, ever traded, was that JSN pick. Uh, so yeah, it's yeah, eons ago now it feels like, but yeah,
Yeah.
Levi and Ryan, no shock there. They're always moving up and down the draft board.
Oh yeah, they're constantly working the deal board.
Yep, and then Beans has made three that where he's stayed in his own spot. Yeah, that's not too many teams that have or that's oh fuck. I'm butchering how I want to say this because wording of it was kind of weird, but yeah, a lot of people are always moving around the draft board.
Hmm.
Okay, so now which team has made the most draft picks that was their own original selection and the pick was never traded? So we have A, Jake, B, Shrew, C, Trevor, or D, Chaz.
I'm gonna go Jake, but wouldn't be surprised if it was Chaz.
Okay, so
Shrew.
it's Shrew. So Shrew is also the only team to never trade his own first.
Wow, must be why he sucks.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Chaz has traded a lot of his picks. Like we had mentioned before, like he's not made a first round pick. And then I feel like Chaz doesn't make a lot of trades, but like he's made a handful of them where he like people, I'm sure, are mostly offering it up to him to move up or move down or just to trade for a player.
Hmm.
Yeah. You've only made three picks from your original selections, one of
Yeah,
which was the
I end
Mall
up
one
moving a
last
lot
year.
on draft days.
Yeah.
I work a lot during the draft. I'm willing to make moves
Hmm.
as I see fit.
Yeah, I mean Jake and Shrew being the first two are not surprising to me at all. I mean Jake hasn't made a trade in 2 years, and then Shrew has like he's mostly
So,
acquired his own picks and not really traded them away to win now.
rule of thumb is you got to trade your picks to be good because first two teams aren't good. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if we were to take a look at the standings, like I'm not saying it's the direct order of teams that trade the most versus teams that trade the least, but it's not that far off of trade frequency and place in standings. So
yeah,
take take
gotta
take
use
that
the
what you
trade
will.
market. It's
Hmm.
like the globalization of fantasy football, right? Like those countries that were isolated got left behind, and the countries that embrace globalization, it's the same thing in fantasy trades.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, for you really, you cannot get better solely from free agency in this league. Uh,
No, no, no,
so
no,
if you're
no.
not
We
making
have
if
too
you're not
deep
making
of
moves to
benches.
make yourself better or make yourself worse, I feel like you're just kind of staying in neutral. It's just like which line.
Unless you can marginally upgrade on tight end on the waiver wire, but if you want to upgrade on running back or wide receiver, good luck.
Yeah, there's definitely some hits every year, but not many, and you'd have to win all of them to really improve on waivers. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brock Purdy isn't coming up on waivers again anytime soon, so.
No.
Okay, so what's the highest number of draft picks made in a single draft? So we have A7, B8, C9, or D13.
Ooh. I'm gonna go 9. Although I wouldn't be shocked if it was 13, and I'm pretty sure it was either it's gotta be Levi. I'm gonna go 13 Levi, final answer.
Yeah. It was Levi this past
This
year.
year. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He made 20, yeah, made 13 picks in the
Oh, that's
2025
right.
draft.
Because I was running into a situation where I overextended myself on draft picks, and I looked at the amount of bench and taxi spots I had, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to cut somebody good. Then Levi saved my ass at the last possible second and wanted to trade for some of my picks for 2026 picks. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I kind of forced myself there to do it, but he ended up saving my bacon there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that happened like more than once in the draft too, where it was like, oh, Trevor's trading out of the draft for future picks, and Levi's moving up.
Yeah, I mean I overextended myself and also overestimated my ability to have lesser picks and trade up, and nobody was really biting, so I was kind of forced my hand there.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. All right, so this is the last question. What is the fewest number of draft picks made in a single draft? Is it zero, one, two, three, or three?
I want to go one.
Want to go one?
One B final answer.
So I made zero picks in the 2024
Okay.
draft.
Okay, 0 picks. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I had draft picks going into that offseason. I just traded them all for win now players. Like I know my goal in the 2024 offseason was to consolidate because I felt like my team was too deep and not enough star talent.
Yeah.
So then I went out and got it's pretty much just Jefferson and Nico Collins at the end of the day. But it took me like 10 trades to get there where I just like slowly consolidated. And then that required me trading away pretty much all my picks. And then I also like one of them was like, oh, I got Aaron Rodgers from you that offseason too for one of those picks.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
So then,
Because I
yeah.
I ended up trading away a lot of my team.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that was like the start of a bunch of cascading moves that year. Because I remember I wanted to trade Baker that offseason because I was like I didn't feel the need to have Kyler, Baker and Dak, who were all like pretty good fantasy quarterbacks. I wanted to see if I could upgrade a receiver. So then I traded for Aaron Rodgers from you first to make sure that I had a locked and loaded QB3 going into the season.
Hmm.
And then that allowed me to, it made me more comfortable to make the additional trades I made down the line that I don't have to overpay for a QB3 later if I just trade for Rodgers then and there. And
Mm,
yeah, that was like right when you began your sell off of all like you had sold off all your good players during the regular season, then still had a
I
crusty old
remember.
vets going into the next 2024. And it was just like, well, Trevor's about to tank for the 101.
Yeah.
Let's offer him this 211 for Aaron Rodgers. And I feel like that's one that's worked out for both of us because it got him
Yeah.
off your team and scoring points. And then for me, it's giving me my quarterback three the last couple of years. He's probably made 10 starts or so for my team. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy with I think we should both be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah. That was a win-win trade for both of us.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was the draft trivia. I Yeah, I made a spreadsheet. If anyone has any questions and want to look at more, I'll be happy to answer them. But yeah, I had fun making that one. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this or if I was going to do this one next week with Mark. But then I completely forgot that we were recording a podcast until we were playing Fortnite half an hour ago. And you're like, we're still doing a podcast tonight, right? And it's just like, oh, yeah, we are.
Hey, it happens.
I made this over Thanksgiving, just when I had some extra time. And then I was like, I'm gonna save this for in my back pocket for a rainy day. And I guess today was that rainy day because yeah, today was really the only day I could record it this week. And we did not come up with a special topic beforehand, so we rolled
Hey,
with
it
it.
worked. It was good. I liked it. I liked it. And I've made a lot of draft picks, so I feel like I had got at least some of them right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've made the second most draft picks in the league. So you've
So
made an average of six per year, which is
yeah, it's a lot of draft picks.
yeah, that's actually
I'm
crazy.
a homegrown team. I'm like the Lions at heart.
How homegrown are you? You traded for Puka and Stafford and
Yeah, yeah, this is true. This is true.
I'm trying to like think of who else you would have traded for that you're currently starting. I guess it is homegrown because you did make the picks for the
Yeah.
most part.
So
I'm not. My team's not homegrown because I don't make draft picks.
we'll see. I'm probably gonna beef up next year. I feel like my window just started opening and I'm willing to start going all in next year. So I expect a lot more picks to be traded during the off season.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Just because again, I mentioned it before, but the teams at the top of the draft, other than Ryan, like most of those guys really don't make that many trades of picks or
Yeah.
just trades, period. I mean, I imagine Ryan's gonna be trying to maneuver whether it's to move up or down.
Yeah.
But
I have no interest trading into the top of this draft either. So
yeah. That's just going to be something to monitor. Is just like I wonder if we're going to have less activity at the top of the draft with I mean the teams that have picks, like I said, aren't the ones that trade them very often. So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see who trades into the first round, who trades out of it, what happens this offseason.
Yep.
All right, we have a minute left, Trevor. Thank you for your time on the show. You have anything you want to plug or any final words you want to say?
Mark, I wish you the best of luck. I think you're gonna win, but in my heart, I hope it's me.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Big week of GDFL playoff action this week. Just a reminder, Mark's playing Trevor and then Sokol's playing Chaz. Big stakes, a lot on the line. Trevor, thanks again for joining the show. Go Lions. Hope we get a W against the Rams this week. And I will talk to you all later.
All right. Thanks, everyone.